Hi, I'm Brittany, and in this video I want to talk about what it means to have your North Node in Aries. So what is the North Node? The North Node is where our soul is going in this lifetime, and it's always directly opposite the South Node, which is where our soul has already been, and something that's very comfortable to us. So the North Node can feel a little bit uncomfortable when we're still figuring it out because it's opposite this point that is so comfortable and natural to us, but that's kind of holding us back a bit. But I don't believe that we should fully abandon the South Node in favor of the North Node. It's always about finding a balance between those two energies in our lives. So, okay, with the North Node in Aries, the main key theme is learning to develop the self. And in past lives, or if you don't believe in past lives, hidden in the subconscious, deep inner part of ourselves, we are very connected with others and we put our own needs last, and we really love peace and harmony. So these people are great peacemakers, and you really appreciate beauty and you appreciate harmony, but there's kind of a struggle in expressing who you really are because it seems to disturb the peace when you do that. And when you have this placement, you really don't want to disturb the peace. So what can sometimes happen is you become everybody's puppet and you just say what everyone wants to hear, and oh, you're so liked by everyone, and you're really peaceful and harmonious and everything, but on the inside you feel an anger or a resentment towards people because you're not being your real self. So the lesson here is to learn to be your real self, even if it ruffles some feathers, because here's the trick. When you do be your real self, and if for some reason that pisses off someone, you can use the gifts of your Libra South Node, so this peaceful, harmonious way of charming people, you can use that to sort of smooth things out. But really with this placement, you have to be yourself. You have to follow your own path. You can't do what other people say you should do because you will be unhappy with that. And it will seem easier for you to just follow the crowd or stay in a relationship where you're maybe not expressing your real self, or just be everybody's pleasing puppet. It will be easier to do that, okay? But what you really need to do is be that warrior that you know is within you, but it feels scary to express that. You have to be that warrior. You have to be that pioneer. Maybe you have some great ideas that you could be implementing that could be changing lives of everybody. Or maybe you have some perspective that will maybe piss off your family, but could greatly help everybody else. Or, there's many situations that it could be, but ultimately you're going to learn that when you express your true self and you express courage, you express leadership, that's when you really will feel like you're expressing your soul's path and truth. And that's what you're here to do. Yeah. Really nice people. And like I said, you're very liked by others. And what else could I say about this? Relationships are a key theme because you really love being in a relationship and you want to be in a relationship, and it's one of your main desires, and what's comfortable to you is to be in a relationship. But you might actually have to go it alone for some periods with this placement, and that is where you'll learn and grow and develop your real self, is maybe being alone, or even being in a relationship that at first is confining and you feel like you can't be your real self, and then being your real self anyways, and maybe it bothers your partner at first, but then eventually you can have a more whole relationship. Because when you're just pleasing people all the time and you're not coming from your truth, that's not actually a harmonious relationship. Even if on the surface level it is harmonious, it's not deep down. If it's hurting you, it's actually not benefiting anyone. So if anything is hurting you, or you feel like you're not being able to adequately express who you are and your needs, that's actually not benefiting anyone. So yeah, the trap of Libra South Node is that you're suffering, and when you're suffering, you're not helping anyone. So being selfish is the key here, and being who you really are, expressing your truth, and being that warrior, that's what you really need to be doing in this lifetime. But although with the North Node in Aries, you can kind of flip-flop, and sometimes there is times in your life when you're totally selfish and you really aren't thinking of anyone's feelings, and it's maybe after a long time of, you were being too accommodating to everyone, and then you just flip over and you're like, I am just going to do me and be totally selfish all the time, and I'm going to say what I want and I don't care. And then there's this huge, it's almost too much. So it's it's always about finding a balance between our North and South nodes. So when you're expressing your true self, use your gifts of your Libra South node of harmony and peace to do it in such a way that it's not actually hurting or harming anyone else. Because there's a way of expressing yourself that can be in harmony, and then there's a way of expressing yourself where it can be too much. So when you have these nodes, you're always learning how to find a delicate balance between self and others. And for you, yes, it is more important to develop the self, and you could become very gifted at any type of self-help thing. You could become a self-help teacher because you know what it's like to put yourself last. So when you do start to put yourself first, you can know how to help other people out of that similar predicament that they have put themselves in. So that's one of your gifts. And inventing, innovating. So you have brilliant ideas, and you actually have the support because you're so well liked by people from being Libra South Node that you can invent things, you can implement things, you could write a book, you could start a new workout routine, and you will have the support to really do anything that you want, start your own practice, start your own business, and you can be quite successful in that. So really cool placement here, North Node in Aries. Very nice people. I haven't actually met one that I didn't like because they're charming people, but when they start to really express who they are, that's when you see the true beauty that they are, because then when they express who they really are without fear and just be themselves, it gives others permission to do the same. So you feel like you can be yourself around them, and you feel heard, but as well as you can see their beauty. And so these people are really nice to have around, and when they're not going too overboard on the self or other side, and they do find that balance, they can be relationship experts. They're so good at having an equal partnership, and they're so good at having harmonious relationships with friends and families, and it becomes their greatest gift, relationships and self-help. Okay, so I hope that's made some sense. If this was true for you, if it wasn't, comment. I would love to talk about it. Thank you for watching.